This is Drew with thepodcastingstore.com, your one-stop shop for all things podcasting and remote learning.
Well, greetings and welcome to another one of our videos. In this one, I want to show that you can actually create some decent content even when you're on the go. Now, normally I'm in the studio. I've got my studio mic that's above the camera here. You can't see it in frame. I've got my Stream Deck that I'm switching scenes. I've got all my clips and stuff lined up, and I've got my headphones, my studio headphones. Well, that's not what I have here. I'm traveling, so I'm outside because the lighting's better, quite frankly. I know I'm backlit a little bit, I have less control over it, but it's nature. It's good for, it's good for nature, so it's good for what we're doing. And I have some simple gear here that I'm going to demonstrate why I use it and what way I use it. And I've got a clip that shows how easy it is to create content on the go, whether you have any of this stuff or not. Part of the thing with this is, like, I don't have my studio headphones because they take up too much room when I'm traveling, so I'm using in-ear monitors. I don't have my studio mic because it's got the XLR cable, then I need to plug that in, so I'm using the Rode Wireless Go 2. But check out the clip, first of all, to see how easy it is to create some good on-the-go content. And then I'm going to demonstrate for you and show you how I've been leveraging that exact same stuff into the video that I'm creating right now. So first, check out the clip. So I'm recording now holding my iPhone in my hand. Now, if that's all you've got, that's something, but you're using the mic that's built into the phone and the phone that's already in your pocket. The phone is good. I'm using the camera that faces backwards towards me. I'd rather use the front-facing camera because it's slightly higher quality, but again, if that's all you got, that's at least something. But there's one step that we can take right now that's gonna make this easier, and that's using a phone holder. And that's gonna improve the quality of this dramatically. So if I just place it right like that, and then all of a sudden, you can see me, I'm in frame, it's stable, and I can get some distance. The problem with that now is the sound. We're still using the internal microphone, so there's only so far I can go from that, and it's still gonna pick me up. So then what I like to use is the Rode Wireless Go 2, because then you can get some distance, and it's a high quality unit. So I'm gonna hook that in now, and you will hear the immediate difference. So now the sound should be coming through the Rode, and it's got the built-in mic in this unit, which is great. So now I can get some distance. We've got some sound quality. I can get up and I can walk, and excuse me not being in frame and all that kind of stuff. But you can see what I'm talking about. But this is a little bit clunky. I'm not a huge fan of using it just like this. So I use a lavalier mic, and I'm going to hook that up right now. And normally I'd run the lav through my shirt so you don't see it, but I'm trying to demonstrate the point here. So now I've got the phone being held on a phone holder, and I'm using the wireless system so I can get some distance from it. I can walk, I can turn around, you can still hear me, you get the background, so I can frame it in like that better. So it doesn't take a lot of stuff to be able to create some content mobily that's worth watching and to improve it. The whole idea behind this is when you're on the go, you've got stuff that just fits in your bag, you're going to take it with you so you can use it. But now let's get back into, we're not going to be in studio because we're traveling, but to see the OBS setup that I use that's going to take it even to the next level from there. So as any of you parents out there will know, the best stroller is the one you're actually going to use. You can get this big behemoth that's 30 pounds. If you're not going to take it with you, it's kind of a useless piece of gear. So that's part of what we're trying to do here, is to make sure that the gear fits in a small bag. And I just keep this right in my rucksack. So this stuff literally can fly with me, travel with me wherever I go. So that's the fundamental tenet from it, is making it portable but effective. So the first piece of gear that we used on that was the Hercules DG207B phone holder. And I've got that right now. I'm on the front porch of the house. I've got it attached to a patio chair. And it hooks onto anything, clamps onto it, holds the phone, and it also has a cold shoe that holds the Rode Wireless Go 2 system, which is the wireless that I was using. Now the Rode, I don't need to use a wireless here, but I'm using it for a couple of reasons. Well, first of all, we've got the wind picking up here. I've got a windscreen on the lav, and we'll talk about that in a second, but I can create some distance here. I don't need the wireless capabilities of it per se, but I like having it, and also it's got 2 inputs, so if I wanted 2 sound sources, I could do that. The other thing I have here, it's the Azden EX507XR lav. And now, as I showed in that clip, the built-in mic on the Rode is great, but I like having the lav. It's got the windscreen on here, which is going to help cut down on the wind noise. Hopefully you're not catching it. But also it keeps the mic in the proper position. It's inobtrusive. In the clip, I ran it on the front of my shirt because I was showing you what it was. Here I have it inside my shirt and back down again. I'm trying to normalize all this and make it so that it's not really jumping out at you. So that's the gear that I used in the clip video. There's a couple of things that I'm doing slightly additional here. And the first one is I'm using the Shure SE215 in-ear monitors. I didn't need that on that clip video because I had nothing to monitor. I'd just be listening to myself. And I could have used that through the Rode. But I'm doing that here because I'm showing clips, I'm doing intros and outros and different sounds. I need to be able to tell what's going on in my video. So I've got those in here, and I've got the cord to that running down the back of my shirt. Again, I'm trying to create less visual noise so that nothing interferes with it. And then the last piece of gear that I'm using here that I wasn't on that clip video is the Elgato Stream Deck, and that's what's allowing me to switch these scenes. So the clip, I was just doing a clip, that was it. And if you're going to be editing afterwards, that's fine. I like to record these live on tape, as they say. So I line up all my clips, all my artwork and all of that, and I want to be able to switch it. Well, the Elgato does that. And so you can see the actual setup that I'm using here. So here's the Stream Deck, and that I've got all the buttons programmed on here, and that's what's switching between the scenes. And then I've got the Rode. This is the part that's going into the computer, and then here's the transmitter. So if I took the transmitter, I could walk away with that, no problem like that. But the only thing that I've really added to this that I wasn't using before is basically the computer and OBS, so that I can record this live, or I could live stream it or anything like that. If I'm just on the go and I'm creating content, I can just use my phone. I can record it into that, upload it later, that's fine. But for the style of what I'm trying to do, I know I get a little more complicated with it, but I want it to be a little more polished. I also want to do a little less work editing afterwards. OBS is great for that, and just with a couple of simple pieces of gear, I can really do that. Again, outside, not ideal. I'd rather be in the studio where I've got a controlled environment, but creating something is better than not creating anything, and that's kind of the fundamental tenet with this. So, oh, and I'm using the front-facing camera on the phone, like I said, because I can look on OBS and make sure that I've got it lined up the way that I want and all that, whereas before I needed to make sure I was staying in frame. I didn't have any way to monitor it. So that's the basic setup here that I'm using. Phone holder, wireless system, so microphone, some kind of amplification, and then I've got the lavalier, which helps with the sound, and then with the computer setup, I've got the in-ear monitors, and then I've got the Stream Deck, which does the switching. So that is my mobile setup. This fits perfectly inside my rucksack. I'm going to be flying with it later this week, and that'll be my carry-on. There's nothing to check. There's no boom stands or anything like that. Again, I'm sacrificing a little flexibility by not carrying that stuff with me, but adapt to the environment, make the content, and make something worth watching. Thank you so much for watching. Leave some comments. If you've got questions, let me know or suggestions or anything that you have from there. Like, share, subscribe. Check out the other videos in the channel because there's a lot of great stuff there, and we'll catch up with you next time.
If you're facing a unique problem with podcasting or remote learning, we can help. Reach out to us at thepodcastingstore.com and we'll see what solutions we can find for you. And if you like what you hear, do me a favor and tell a friend. Follow us on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and sign up for our e-newsletter, and you'll never miss another podcast or video again. This is Drew with thepodcastingstore.com. Thank you for listening.